Hello, everybody. Welcome to the M2 podcast. This is episode 27. We're coming at you hot today. This is the show where we basically cover your week in review, esports and personalities, gaming industry related news, new and upcoming games, technology, and innovation. I am your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host is Mr. JK Heath, aka Kyle Heath. And pretty much like, what have you been up to, Kyle? How was the week?
Week, busy as usual. What can I say, So much going
You're
on.
always busy.
Yeah,
Always busy, man.
always, man. A lot more than I once was, too, which is, like, crazy to think about. Especially since the start of the year, like, it's just gotten exponential. Anyway, but, let's see, trying to think what I played this week outside of the usual. I don't think a whole lot, man. Doing the video stuff as usual. That takes up most of the time. And then, pretty much try to get games in with my boys whenever I can, which I'm starting to value a lot more since I've become more busy. Like, it's weird.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I like do more work now, and it's like I like try to schedule things out, and I just try to like enjoy that time, and like it makes me enjoy gaming more, which is like funny, like to think about what it does. Like if I'm like working all the time, it does that. So but I mean overall, it's just been like really Apex, Smite. I think that's it really. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, sounds like the usual for you. Except you're just more busy. And that's what's gonna happen, dude. As you get older and you get more responsibilities or you just start losing track of time, like video games becomes more of a pleasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you appreciate it more. So I feel like that's the way you gotta look at it. But for me, the last week basically I've been playing a lot of Halo again. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And I think sorry, in the background I got this new puppy
I
of
know.
mine jumping up and down in the bed.
You're
I'm
watching the
sure you
video
can see
version.
it.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
see it.
video version. Anybody watching on Spotify or YouTube, you can definitely see him jumping back and forth. But back to games. I tried downloading. Well, I didn't try. I did download. Remember I was talking about the Amazon Prime Day specials with Star Wars. Not Knights of the Old Republic. Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
Downloaded both of those, loaded it up, and I don't remember why, but I don't think I had enough time. But I was like, okay, let me just get through the first mission. I loaded up, and it was like 4:3 locked resolution. And I was like, man, I remember on the Xbox I could play this in 4:3 widescreen stretched. Like, why can't I do that on the PC version? So I have to go back and actually revisit that. I wanted to play it with widescreen.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where I'm at right now when it comes to gaming. I played a little bit more of Mario Strikers on Nintendo Switch. That's a load of fun. And I've been thinking about like just hopping on to Twitch again and sort of like streaming games. It's been months for me. I know I
Yeah.
mentioned this last episode, so that's uh that's something I really need to get into. Set some form of a schedule
Yeah.
and then have that going back.
Sure, man, for sure. Hey,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be in them streams, dude. I always love like lurking and just like while I'm doing stuff, seeing
I
what's
always
up.
count, dude. You're like the first one to join the chat mostly. You
Yeah,
got like push notifications on every device you have. It's like anytime I tweet out and Nick is like immediately either grabs my tweet and then sends it back to me and talks to me about it, like whether it's roasting or something like that, or if he's like instantly likes it.
yeah. Yeah. Hey man, I'm only like that
Yeah.
with the homies, Only people I know close. Like just in there, bro.
I feel loved. I feel loved, that's for sure. You get a fresh haircut too? I think,
Yeah, I did, man.
yeah. The
Last
fade is
weekend.
too strong.
It's too
Too strong.
strong. Yeah. Honestly, dude, one of these days, and it may not be soon, but like maybe within the next year, dude, I'm just gonna show up one time with just short hair, just randomly, It could happen.
Well,
Anything.
you've been rocking the slick back like into a ponytail for how long? I don't think I've ever seen it
Dude.
down.
Yeah, you haven't known me any other way because I remember the time. I remember like when I really decided to grow my hair out, at least top of my head, it was like 2018, I think. It was like when I really decided
Oh
to.
wow.
So like ever since then, it's the only hairstyle I've like actually used. But at the same time, it's also like what 4 years of that. It starts to get kind of old having to do it every day. Like, and I don't do it every
Yeah.
day, especially since I work remote. But like still, man, it's something that I could get a little more time out of my mornings if I didn't have to worry about it. So one of these days.
Yeah, I totally feel that. I mean, this is the longest my hair has ever been. I know when you like first met me, my hair was always short.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still like I know people now, even in like people that I work with that don't remember have never seen me with short hair.
It's
Like
just so
ever.
crazy.
Because like yeah, because like what ended up happening is during the whole like lockdown situation, I was only in the office for a week and then everybody went home for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So when I was home for a year and a half, I was like, man, I don't want to go get a haircut. Screw it. And then
Yeah.
I kept getting like more like I kept getting haircuts where the woman that was cutting my hair was like, I'm not cutting your hair off because it looks good, is what she said. And I was like, well, you got to figure out a way to manage it, and then you got to teach me how to do it. So
Yeah.
that's where I stand now. But I'll tell you, man, there's a heat wave that's been hitting the world the last 2 weeks.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my gosh, I'm about
dude.
to like completely buzz it all off now. It's so brutal.
Yeah, dude, it's true, man. One of the benefits to like that's like been the biggest benefit to keeping the sides short is like I don't really have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
like that really cuts down on like any like heat
yeah.
like absorption that my head gets. So
I've seen plenty of the ladies do the like the back of the head buzz. Have you
yeah,
ever seen that?
I think I
I
have.
forgot what it's
Yeah,
called. It's like an undercut or something like that. They like buzz that part, but then they'll
yeah,
have like a ponytail and long hair everywhere else.
yeah, exactly. I've
It's
seen that before.
genius. Yeah,
Yeah, not a bad idea, honestly. Because like you could like
yeah,
wear it down and like you wouldn't notice, or you could just like put it up and then it's like whoa, there's like layers to this.
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool.
Well, without further ado, I think we should actually like get into the actual, gaming, the news and review of the week.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. Got some
what were
stories you
you
can.
able to find?
Oh, maybe was I
Hit
able to
us with the
find?
first one.
I will. I will. The first one. We're gonna be talking about Intel a little bit. Um, this episode. We're gonna start off with some kind of like man news. Like you probably don't want to hear this, but we're gonna tell you anyway because gotta
Yeah.
bring you some of the whack news sometimes. But Intel is actually planning to raise CPU prices this year. Some of the chip prices could jump as high as 20%. Heard that right, Mike? 20%. Um, I'll read a little bit of the article. It says Intel is getting ready to increase the prices of CPUs and chips. There's reports that the chip maker will raise prices on its flagship CPUs and a wide range of other chips later this year, including Wi-Fi and other connectivity chips. Intel has already informed its customers of the price increases, and it will likely lead to more PC and laptop price increases during the holiday period. That pricing hasn't been finalized, but some chips could go up as high as 20%. Intel already warned earlier this year that it is looking at price increases for certain chips due to ongoing inflation and rising costs of materials, shipping, and labor. On its Q1 earnings call, Intel dedicated, or excuse me, it indicated it would increase pricing in certain segments of its businesses due to inflationary pressures, as an Intel spokesperson in a statement. Um, the company has begun to inform customers of these changes. Um, the article goes a little bit more, trying to skim through it some. They said the worldwide PC shipments dropped nearly 13% this past quarter. It's the sharpest decline in 9 years for the global PC market, brought on by geopolitical, economic, and supply chain challenges impacting all regional markets. So seems like overall it's kind of just it's kind of with the current economic state, that the that US is facing, and I'm sure the world is too. It's kind of certainly doesn't help, and then we're still getting out of the supply chain issues we've been having since COVID started. It's kind of like it's as much as I hate to say it, I feel like it's almost inevitable, but it's like at least they're kind of letting us know, I guess, that this could happen. But yeah, rather unfortunate, especially like with like GPUs. Like it's so weird because like we get this news right after hearing like GPUs are like at an all-time low in pricing, especially the newer ones. So it's like it's kind of weird to hear. I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Mike? I see you wrestling with the dog in the background. Please, baby.
Yeah, I have to mute my mic every once in a while because he's a little bit excited. He's got the zoomies.
Yeah,
So, when it comes to the Intel raising their costs, I think it's kind of expected, right? Just because of the like supply chain shortages and all
yeah,
these issues that they keep having. That is kind of creating like I don't want to say an artificial shortage, but it is creating a shortage. So you could technically say that the cost is going to go up. But 20% is pretty steep, and to say that it's because of inflation, I mean, inflation's going up, sure, whatever, but I don't think people's income is going up to justify or to meet to meet the cost. But I don't know. The hopefully the prices figure themselves out. The good news that you did mention is that the GPUs are actually coming down in prices because
Yeah,
they're trying to get rid of the inventory. And Intel is also making a GPU, which I know that we're going to be talking about later in the
yeah,
episode. And I got a couple of thoughts on that too. But I think this is going to be an interesting time, right? Because we know that AMD is going to be bringing out their new set of chips, and it's supposed to be amazing.
yeah.
And so
The
he's totally got
distractions,
the
the
video.
distractions. I don't know. It's so funny too because I see him like dashing and I don't hear anything. I just see a dog just flying.
Oh, shout out to so shout out to Nvidia for that.
I literally don't hear
Nvidia
anything.
has
It's so funny.
art. Nvidia has RTX voice, so it will only pick up my voice while this dog is literally
It's so.
sprinting back and forth. So if anybody that's listening solely to the podcast in audio format, wherever you are, just make a mental note to come find this video on either Spotify or YouTube because
It's entertainment, man. It's
yeah,
so funny.
it is something else. So
Uh,
if it barks and it's too loud, I'm sorry for everybody. But back to Intel. We know that AMD's new chipsets should be coming out by the end of this year, is rumors, and they're going to utilize a faster RAM set of DDR5, which is going to bring a newer generation of motherboards with it as well. So it's going to be interesting how the prices level out with Intel and AMD for CPUs. I think that's pretty much like where I stand with it, and like just trying to find out how they compete with each other when Intel's going to raise their prices when they're already considered more expensive than AMD in the first place.
yeah,
Is this going to send more people over to AMD? Is AMD going to raise their prices as well under the same justification? I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, that's the biggest question mark, right? Is like, how is AMD going to respond to this? Is AMD going to follow suit? Are they going to try and keep their prices level just to kind of have a one up on Intel? It seems like
Yeah.
they always have, right? And like Intel, the prices of Intel chips, they are like, I mean, honestly, the last time I saw, I felt like they were lower than ever in terms of especially new chips,
Oh
right?
yeah.
It's like they had to compete. They
Yeah.
finally caught up with AMD, and so now they're going back up. And who knows if AMD is going to do the same, or if their new chips are going to be a higher price anyway. So like maybe Intel has some, no pun intended, intel on that, and they're gonna like try and do something similar. I don't know. But I think that's the biggest question mark, and it's what I'm going to be paying attention to whenever AMD finally
Yeah, me
reveals their
too.
new chips. Um,
Me too.
sure. But yeah, I mean, I think overall something like this is to be expected. We'll see how the competitors respond. But I mean, Intel at the end of the day, it's Intel, so I mean, they're still going to sell chips. They don't, although they have competition, it's not a lot of competition. It's just one other company. So yeah, we'll see. You know what? I also what we will also see, or we may not, or in this case, we won't see right at all.
Yeah, that yeah. Which is kind of it's kind of one of those things where it's a shocker, right?
Yeah,
Because okay, just go ahead and hit us
it's
with it.
see, this is the thing. It's bigger than you may expect, but the but Minecraft, essentially, say a Minecraft owner in this case, they stated they are going to be banning in-game NFTs to discourage profiteering. Pretty much Minecraft as a whole is just completely against NFTs. They don't want it in their game, and I think overall this is pretty. It's definitely bigger than people think. I feel like, because like we're talking about Minecraft. Like you have to remember, this is
Yeah.
like arguably the biggest game of all time, the one that like literally took over the world. Um, and
Still kind of has
I mean, yeah,
in a lot of ways.
it's still very much relevant too, right? So it's like the fact that they want nothing to do with like NFTs at all. It's definitely an L for NFTs, to say the least. And it really shows kind of what could be happening in the future. I'm not saying that, just because Minecraft's out, that NFTs don't stand a chance at all, but this certainly is not helping the market of, especially in the
Oh,
gaming
shit,
space for
though.
NFTs. I think
Oh yeah.
I think especially more recently we've seen a lot of experimentation with NFTs in gaming, and I think for the most part, like a lot of them just either fizzled out or just didn't work, or like people are just back to the drawing board trying to figure stuff out. But yeah, this whole Minecraft news doesn't help. I mean, what was your reaction when you saw this, Mike?
I, okay, so I don't really care for NFTs just in general. I did a whole bunch of research on it, and then I decided like ultimately it wasn't for me, um, for an investment opportunity. But for like the foundations of how NFTs work, Minecraft would have been a perfect adoption for it.
I mean,
Would have been amazing for it.
yeah,
So I think the fact that Minecraft had to come out and basically say, well, it's really Microsoft's when you get down to the bottom of it, because
yeah,
that's who they're owned by. Um, what they really ended up doing is coming out and saying like, "Hey guys, we understand that this game would probably be the best like adaptation for NFTs, to bring it to like a DLC or like a new expansion for the game and revitalize it even further, even though it doesn't need revitalization." But I think you understand what I'm saying.
yeah,
And them coming out just to say that they're not going to do it, it's a pretty big deal. I think it's a bigger deal than most people realize. I think this is definitely a for people that are very involved in the crypto space or they understand it and they're like some form of investment, not even like doesn't have to be monetarily, just emotional or just knowledge based, and you want to see like the new tech expand. This is definitely an L, like you said. But I
yeah.
mean, are we really surprised with how crypto has basically plummeted in the last like 6 months?
Oh man, you know, I like forget about it, and then I see like the very like micro investments I made the past couple of years,
Oh, hella
and then I
negative.
and then I cry, and then I don't look at it again for a month, and then I hope that maybe at some point it turns around.
Yeah, I don't from an economic standpoint, I don't think it's going to be done for another like 4 months,
Yeah,
4 or
yeah.
5
At
months.
least the rest of the
So,
summer, it's kind of chalked, but you know,
yeah, I think the rest of the year, cuz it's like every time it's an election year in the US, things get hectic. So
yeah,
you can't predict anything.
yeah. That's a
Uh,
good point. Um,
but yeah, I mean, Minecraft is one of those games that anybody can play on any device, any like software. It's been around forever. It feels like it feels unfailable. It
yeah,
feels like it feels like as old school as like as a pillar as something like MS Paint is.
yeah,
You know, it's just always there. It feels like
yeah.
from the
Pretty
gaming
much.
perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, before we get off the topic, I just wanted to read some of the statement that they had put out. They said to ensure that Minecraft players have a safe and inclusive experience, blockchain technologies are not permitted to be integrated inside our client and server applications, nor may Minecraft in-game content such as world skins, persona items, or other mods be utilized by blockchain technology to create a scarce digital asset. They said NFT implementations that are associated with Minecraft world files and skin packs. Um, said some companies have created this. The studio suggests that there could theoretically be Minecraft collectible NFTs, or that players could even earn NFTs by doing things in Minecraft on the server or earning them outside the actual game. But Mojang argues that these practices encourage digital scarcity and exclusion, which goes
Yep.
against the values of Minecraft. NFTs are not inclusive of our of all our community and create a scenario of haves and the have-nots. The studio said Mojang goes even further by saying that the speculative nature of NFTs encourages profiteering. Um, they did put out a full blog post that you can read on their website as well if they want all the detail on it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, even if I think if you have like a Minecraft server, I mean, they don't want you doing NFTs or anything like that on even your own, like third party thing. It's um, which I mean, there's the thing about like Minecraft servers, like the history of like running a Minecraft server now. It's like it used to be very profitable. There was a lot of
Yes,
people
it
that
did.
would make so much money. They would literally form like essentially like businesses on just from like Minecraft servers with like employees and whatnot. Um, but now, especially over the years, like Minecraft's really kind of cracked down on a lot of the. They've really kind of they put a lot of like regulations and rules, especially across like what you can sell to players and all that. So it's gotten a lot more difficult to actually run a server. But I remember a lot of huge servers back in the day that just sparked up out of nowhere, and they had like an actual like they had like a 15-20 person like crew working on like world building and like actual programming
Yeah.
and stuff. It's not the same anymore, but I mean, I think in the first place, it's kind of like you really have to like the game to even want to start like a server or anything like that. And so,
Mhm.
let alone if you're looking for a cash grab, but then want to do like NFTs on top of that. Minecraft just isn't the place for you, man. That's what it comes down to.
No. Yeah. They're go find your own space is basically what they're getting at. I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen a couple of metaverses online that are strictly based in crypto, and they use like crypto as like real currency within the universe that they've created. And it honestly, it looks like Roblox or Minecraft. So because you have to start off with like the bare essentials of the mechanics, and then the graphics come later.
Yeah.
So with it being like they're saying profiteering, they're just trying to get it out the door as quickly as possible. The graphics can wait. Sometimes the game can wait and people are still participating, but that's something else entirely that we don't have to discuss right now.
Yeah, we don't have to. Yeah, there's something I really want to discuss though, Mike. Like something I just, oh, I
you're
really want to
you're
discuss.
holding back on something.
Oh, baby, can we talk about it? Faze Clan is
Oh
now
man.
public on the stock market,
How?
and they are evaluated at 725 million dollars in a recent deal. So yeah, they are on the stock exchange. So Faze Clan, one of the biggest esports companies in the world, has officially gone public via a SPAC merger with B. Riley Principal 150 Merger Corporation. The deal values Faze at $725 million, according to Axios, which is lower than the original $1 billion valuation from when the merger was announced in October. Faze is now trading on the NASDAQ exchange under the ticker symbol, you guessed it, Faze. Which is like so like just baller. Was like that's so sick to me. Um
It's wild.
yeah.
Absolutely wild. You know the thing I don't understand, man, is like I thought we literally just covered what was it? A month ago? Month and a half ago about how FaZe was struggling financially. Like that
Yeah.
was the rumor.
Yeah, I think
And all of a sudden they're
about
just
that.
like, yeah, we're valued at 725 million. It's like, dang.
It just blows my mind. Like it's just out of nowhere. Like I know we've talked about this plenty of times, but it's like when you really like look at all the top esports orgs and like you really dig into their net worth and like how much they actually are worth as a business, it's kind of crazy. And it makes sense about how they get like, all these creators and they're able to like host events and like pay people salary, and it's wild, man. And even some like the lower tier orgs, like I was digging into like Xset a little bit, kind of seeing, especially like on
Oh
LinkedIn, kind of
yeah.
their like structure. I mean, it's said on LinkedIn, and I don't know how accurate it is, but like and they're like kind of a smaller time org, at least I think. But they still have anywhere from like 11 to 50 employees, I think, according to like their LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Like paid
yeah,
employees.
like
Probably
paid people, like probably on salary. Just crazy, man. That's and they're not even as big as Phase. Phase, Phase is up there. C9, Liquid, TSM, Fnatic, they're up there, man. It's and I mean the fact that they're valued at 725 million, that seems kind of high to me, especially from the
way
numbers
too
we
high,
saw
man.
like recently. I don't know how they got evaluated that high, if I'm being honest, but I mean, hey, man, they do have some pretty big creators. We're talking, they got Nick Merckx, dude. Like, come on, man.
Well, they okay. So I will say that like not only does FaZe have Nick Merckx, who's arguably, I guess right now, especially on Twitch, by far, he's the number one FPS, like especially COD
Yeah.
player. Just like as an entertainer, not like esports. But the thing that FaZe is doing that a lot of other orgs are not doing is that they're signing people like IRL people is probably the best way to call it. They're like signing
Yeah.
rappers.
Yeah.
They got Lil Yachty and Snoop Dogg, and they have so many more people. So Snoop Dogg is on the board of directors, which is massive. But
Yeah.
let's see, like, what if I do phase personalities? You think? Because Phase Banks is his own guy. Oh yeah. So throughout 2019, musicians Ray J, DJ Paul, Offset, Swali, Yogati, Pitbull, and Disco Fries. Basketball players Myers Leonard, Josh Hart, Ben Simmons, Jamal Murray. Footballer Gregor Von der Weel, I believe. Skateboarder Nigel Houston. Nigel Houston's on Phase? All of those I can kind of like see, right? Because I'm just like, okay, yeah, I get that. Whatever, that's cool. It makes sense. Fits the brand. And then it's like Nigel Houston. I'm like, I didn't know they were going for skaters too. Um, yeah, that's wild. I mean, I guess I guess they're partnerships too. I mean, can I list some of these real quick? We got Ghost Energy,
Yeah.
SteelSeries, Nissan, MoonPay, which is crypto, for those that are unaware. McDonald's, DraftKings, Scuff Gaming, Respawn, Current, which I don't know. Current is a New York City. Oh, that's a financials software company. And Totino's, frozen pizza place by General Mills.
Hey,
Okay, so
it's just
uh,
like it's crazy to me. Like, dude,
I get,
like
I get it.
yeah. I mean, the craziest sponsor, like Nissan, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just so left field. I feel like, but hey,
You know the
man.
one thing that they don't have here, like publicly on here, that is kind of shocking is I don't see a clothing company.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You, like Cloud9, for example, they do Puma. They got Puma
Yeah,
gear.
yeah.
Fnatic has another European brand. They might have Adidas. Remember that? You were looking at Fnatic? You bought a Fnatic shirt, didn't you?
No, I didn't buy one. I mean, I was looking. I think there's a partnership with Navi. Navi has a partnership. I forget with who, and I don't know if it's Adidas or some other brand, but I know they have a partnership with a clothing brand. Um,
Yeah.
it may even be Puma, honestly. Um,
It could be. But the thing I'm getting at is like a lot of these brands and orgs, where the real money comes from is content creation, advertising, and like merch sales. Phase is really up there. Phase is probably the biggest NA brand. I think
he said
Counterlogic
it.
Gaming's up there
Dang,
too.
he said it, dude.
Yeah. Counterlogic Gaming, though, a lot of people don't know this. They got bought out by Madison Square Garden.
Man, a lot of money.
A lot of money on that, but they got bought out early.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I feel like catalog and gaming, of course, are still relevant, but like I don't see them too much. I don't see like big. They're like names in a lot of like the games I watch.
yeah,
So like
same.
like I think they're in Apex, but they weren't in the LGS. Of course, they're not in Halo. They're not.
Not
Um,
anymore. They were
yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I don't. Are they in Rocket League? I have no idea. Um,
CLG is in League, Fortnite, CS:GO, Super Smash Bros, and Apex Legends. I forgot who their Super Smash Bros player is.
mm,
I think it might be the best player. Pew Pew U, I guess, picking up base melee. Evo, no, never mind. I thought it was like Mewtwo King. Mewtwo King signed to somebody big, but
yeah. Well,
yeah,
um,
we digress. But this is wild for FaZe, but it's all good for esports teams.
yeah, for
Not
sure.
esports teams, but orgs in general. Like gaming's here to stay, baby.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's
Orgs going
only
up with the Blaze.
yeah. Orcs only gonna get bigger. I mean, which yeah, you could interpret as a good thing because like they can bring on more creators and like if you're going for that or you're gunning for like a content creator spot, like there's probably more openings than there ever has been. Um, but yeah, I mean, you also gotta set yourself apart. And we could talk about this all day. And I'm like, we know we could, but but
Yeah, well, it's just the last thing I'll say about it is it's pretty wild that I think it was 4 years ago when FaZe and Tfue was having a contract dispute,
yeah.
and then FaZe took a massive hit from like a branding standpoint, where they were supposed to be like the gamers org,
Mhm.
like the big org that takes care of their gamers. Then they just ruined Tfue because he signed a dumb contract without thinking or without like reviewing, and he ended up getting screwed over because of it. And from them to go from this, like from that situation with Tifu to just the insanity of $725 million SPAC deal, like what? Yeah, you gonna buy Phase?
I don't know, man. I haven't seen
Phase
how
up?
much the stock's worth. Isn't it like kind of cheap?
Yeah, it's super cheap. Let
Pretty sure
me
it's like really cheap. I don't know. I might buy
message the
some. They had their initial kind of IPO dip, so maybe now's the time to buy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's usually happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do a 5 day watch. And Market Watch is trying to get me to subscribe. We don't live in that reality, brother.
No, we don't, dude.
You're gonna go to Yahoo. Phase 3? That is wrong. Okay. This might not be as easy as I thought it was gonna be.
They said the ticker symbol was phase.
It
So
is, but it's a SPAC. So
yeah.
it's not it's a little bit more complicated than just typing in it. Okay, so $10. $10 and
$10. Look at
7
that.
cents. There
Just
was a
that easy,
change
dude.
of 20 cents today. So
Nice,
phase
dude.
up.
Phase up, baby. Trying to invest in phase.
Phase up.
Phase up on the market, baby.
Yeah, they opened at 13, plummeted to $9. Didn't
Jeez.
get below 9, and now they're back at 10. So we'll see how that goes. We're not a financial podcast, so
Yeah, we're not financial advisors or
no
stock
shot.
market advisors, and no shot, dog. Can't recommend you anything, you know.
Yeah, that's a strong evaluation of 725 million. That's basically saying that the the projections of where this org is going to go is to the moon.
Yeah,
By G.
that kind of evaluation. Jeez.
Nuts.
Um, all right, get on phase, baby. That's where all the money's at. No, I'm just kidding. But I do know Intel's been pouring some money into some brand new GPUs, some ARC
Let's
GPUs.
talk about it. I'm
Talk about it,
excited.
dude. Um, the
The
ARC,
Arc series.
yeah, the ARC series, the ARC A750 limited edition GPU looks to perform better than a GeForce RTX 3060 for some games. It's the
Mm.
newest offering. It says Intel shared early details about the upcoming ARC A750 limited edition GPU, and it looks to perform slightly better than the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 for such games as Cyberpunk 2077, Control, Fortnite, and more. Intel shared the info in a blog and a video and revealed performance results from a small subset of games that, quote, work very well with Intel Arc and the Alchemist architecture. I love that. Intel knows that not all games will show these results, but it's a view of what Intel Arc A series cards are capable of with the right software and engineering enablement. When compared to the 3060 relative performance in regards to average FPS at 1440p and high preset settings, the Arc A750 performs 17% better with F1 2021, 15% better with Cyberpunk, 14% better with Control, 13% better with Borderlands 3, and 6% better in Fortnite. And if you're watching the video, see a nice little graphic here they put together. And no real numbers. It's kind of just bars, and then the Intel one is slightly higher than the NVIDIA one. It's like there's no like real benchmark there, but in terms of frames, they kind of just show you just pretty colors. But it's good to know there's at least a slight performance improvement over the, I guess the 3060. It's a little I think a little, I won't say better than I expected. Honestly, this is like probably what I was expecting. I certainly wasn't expecting like anything to beat out the 3090 or the 3080 by any means. But like the mid range seems like a good spot for Intel to kind of like make waves in anyway, especially starting out. Then they could probably go once they get the technology there, they could really gun for the top. But overall, I mean, this is pretty interesting stuff. Mike, I know you got some words on it, dude. I know you.
I definitely do. So a lot of my words and a lot of my opinion is going to come from Linus Tech Tips. And the reason why is because they had two Intel, uh, I guess, service reps is probably salesmen come through, like like engineers. I'm not sure what their titles were. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying that much attention to those guys because Linus was like trying to break the card to see what would happen. But basically, what ended up happening is they brought over one of these Arc series cards and started stress testing them. And there is a caveat with this. So we're talking about all the different percentage gains that are coming with these titles: F1 2021, Cyberpunk, Control, Borderlands 3, and Fortnite, right? Fortnite is what Fortnite is, right? But what they essentially were trying to show is that the Intel Arc series GPUs are better for what Linus was calling tier one games. Tier one being like AAA studios, brand new games that are like heavy demanding. And the reason for that is because the Intel Arc GPU series was able to implement DirectX 12, which is a rendering technology.
Yeah.
I believe I don't want to get it too wrong here, but it's the newest generation of DirectX. So DirectX 12 is all utilizing these tier one games, and the cards are optimized for those games. The problem is when it comes to games that have been out for a while or lower tier games, the Intel card actually didn't perform nearly as well as the RTX series. So what he was trying to show is like, yes, we can get better boosts and stuff like that with tier one games, but they need to start doing like the tier 2, tier 3 games, like the indie
Yeah.
games and stuff. And what he essentially got to in the video was that Intel's generation of GPUs are that they're going to start setting the benchmarks for all their performances on their GPUs moving forward based on the indie level games that are using like poorly optimized, like, I don't know, software,
Yeah.
and using like DirectX 11 in the previous generation because they already know they can figure out the X12.
Yeah.
So that's half the battle, right?
Right, yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a really really interesting breakdown of how GPUs work and how to get the games to work and function properly, like like a symbiotic relationship between the
Yeah.
GPU and the game.
Hmm.
So it was really really fascinating, and it's only like a 10-15 minute video on YouTube, so take a gander at that for sure.
Linus Tech Tips,
Um,
baby.
yeah, Linus Tech Tips, they did a really good job, and they have an overclocking device with Intel, and apparently, like, you can make the adjustments live. You don't have to do any type of resets. You can pull up the overlay while you're in the game
Hmm.
and like adjust it. And he was actually adjusting it, put the voltage too high, and the game crashed. And he's like, "Oh,
Nice.
yeah." There's a lot of comedy stuff in there too, but with the prices of the CPUs going up at some point this year, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Arc Intel GPUs pan out because they have not mentioned what the prices are going to be and how comparable it's going to be towards NVIDIA's RTX series.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing for me is like seeing that performance, and also the article states a little bit too. They still have more details to give about performance in other games, when it'll be available, the cost. What I'm looking forward to the most is how it handles ray tracing, especially in
Yeah,
comparison to RTX,
that's a good point.
because Nvidia's got it nailed at this point. So I wonder. I don't expect this to have the same level of performance in ray tracing as Nvidia, but I I'm hoping it's at least, okay. That'd be really interesting, because I'll be honest, I don't know how ray tracing performs on AMD cards, if at all. Like,
I don't
last
think
time
it
I heard it
does.
wasn't that good, but um
Yeah,
so I mean, I don't know if Intel has that at least kind of figured out. I mean, it may give them a leg up over AMD. Um yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just have to see, Um I'm excited to hear more info on
sure.
this for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I mean, it's very exciting because Intel's getting back into the space, right? So I think I'm gonna be excited to see how this pans out. Or also, Intel does integrated graphics with their CPUs for laptops.
Yeah.
So this technology, I mean, is going to be really good for people that like using laptops and they don't have themselves like a modular system where you can swap out the GPU whenever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Um so yeah. Certainly excited. I want to see if Intel can how they perform, especially against AMD, since our AMD's kind of lower dog right now. Although
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't like say like AMD. I shouldn't bash them completely, because like I know, like, especially the higher end AMD cards, they do pretty well against some of the mid tier like Nvidia cards, and they're viable. It's not like they're just like potatoes, but
Well, yeah, they're not just viable, but they're comparable in price, sometimes
yeah,
even cheaper.
yeah,
It just really comes down to do you want the Nvidia like branding? You know,
yeah,
because that's a lot to do with what the price is for Nvidia cards. I mean, yes, they're really really good and they're definitely a leg up on AMD on the GPU market. But the thing is like, does it really cost that much, or are people just paying it to pay it because of the whole crypto stuff, and
um,
they're just like keeping the prices up?
yeah. It's really yeah, it's hard to tell. So I guess we'll really see whenever this comes out, and how it shapes everything for sure. Um so I wanted to do something the first of its kind on this podcast, Mike. Don't get too
Uh-oh.
scared, right? It's nothing like crazy here. But I'm doing a I'm noticing the time, we have a little bit of time, and we're kind of a little under than what I thought. So I just kind of threw in one of the articles we had in the in the doc, and it's the Nintendo
Oh, okay.
Nintendo shop's actually closing down. So I originally was going to leave this out, but let's go ahead and talk
I'm
about
okay
it.
with
Why
talking
not?
with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna talk about this. So I saw you post the article. I'm like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
let's hit me
I
with it.
it's worth mentioning. So Nintendo announced that they're going to close down the Wii U and 3DS eShops on March 27th, 2023. So a little under a year from now, the 3DS and the Wii U will no longer have their digital storefronts. Just going to be gone. It says Previously, it was broadly targeted March 2023, giving gamers plenty of time to fill out the collections before they no longer have the chance to do so. Legally, at least, hopefully. There's probably going to be other ways
Yeah,
people
that's a
can
good
get the
point.
games.
Yeah.
But now they're saying for sure it is the 27th of March. There's a bit more urgency, however, if you're hoping to purchase a Nintendo eShop card, which are typically available at some sort of small discount to add funds to your account, your 3DS. As Nintendo previously shared that the cutoff date to add funds via this method is August 29th, 2022. The time of recording this, that is a little over a month.
Yeah,
So,
you got to get to it.
so it's definitely got to get to that if you want to utilize the eShop cards to add some funding. Those funds, however, will be yours to use as you see fit until March 27, 2023, when the shops close. Nintendo says that you'll still be able to redeem download codes on either platform until the March 2023 closure date as well. Even after the closure of both stores, Nintendo shared that you can re-download purchase games and DLC, receive software updates for them, and play games online. The company claims that this won't change for the foreseeable future, but who's to say that may not change further down the line? But also, this year, oddly, sales of Fire Emblem Fates for the 3DS will end on February 28th, 2023, 1 month ahead of the shop's closure, which I think is kind of funny. They're just like, they can't wait that extra month. They just cutting it.
They're like,
Um,
see ya.
its DLC will still be available to purchase through March 27, 2023. Yeah, and I'll just close out the rest of the article. Nintendo terminating support for its previous generation consoles has caused somewhat of a spike in demand, more so for the beloved 3DS, and is many iterations than the Wii U. It's not uncommon to find local game shops selling them for close to their original retail price or well above it. It's also not uncommon to find stores completely sold out of secondhand stock as more and more gamers try to stock up on their favorite games ahead of the cutoff. It's crazy because I know we talked at some point about like how Nintendo kind of creates collector items, quote unquote, out of the
Yeah.
hard copies of their games. But now it's like digital storefronts, just like on these older generations. It's I guess 3DS, Wii U. I'm trying to. I should have prepared. I don't know what the Wii U. I don't know when the Wii U came out. I think it was like mid 2010s, maybe earlier than that.
No, man. No,
No,
the
Switch
Wii.
was 2017, so it was much more before that.
It's weird. I think I feel like the Wii U. No, I'm gonna look it up real quick, but
I'm gonna say
maybe I'm thinking of the
2013.
Wii U.
That's my guess.
I'm thinking like
Because
2007.
2010, no, 2007 or 8 was the Wii, the Nintendo Wii.
Okay, then that's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so yeah, Wii U was 2012,
2012.
November
Okay.
2012. Always holiday season. So it went from 2012 to 2017. That's a long time for that system.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, that
It was a good
tends to
system
be
though.
how they do it. I mean, the Switch is there now. We're 5 years post launch of the Switch. We got an OLED Switch, but that's just like a small upgrade. It's not like the
Where's my 4K, man?
that's what everyone wants, man. I don't know if they're gonna stick with the Switch model or they're gonna try and switch it up again because that's one thing Nintendo always does is they get super
They,
creative with their console offerings.
they do.
So I mean, I don't know, man. We could see something that we didn't know we wanted. So, but I mean, to that alignment, I mean, Wii U is 2012. The storefront closes 2013 or 2023. I mean, that's 11 years almost.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I don't know. I don't think the Xbox 360 storefront is done yet. I don't think. That's like,
It's gotta be, man.
you think so?
It's
I
gotta
mean,
be.
I don't know, man. I
No, Xbox 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely dead.
Hmm.
I can
All
say
right.
that equivocally because I remember this. Everybody was staying back on Halo 2 because the Halo 2 servers went down, and when the Halo 2 servers went down, the Xbox 360 servers also went down. And then when the
Hmm.
new generation of Xbox One consoles came out, they put everything on the Microsoft Azure servers.
Hmm.
So whether or not they switched Xbox 360 from the original servers to the Azure servers, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's a no. Pretty
Interesting.
sure.
Yeah, I may have to
Um,
double check that after the show, but
yeah, that's definitely
it's
something that's worth looking into.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. This when you think about when these consoles came out, it makes sense. Kind of that they're kind of done. Um, but yeah, very I mean, I would say very unfortunate, but also at the same time, like the Wii U is kind of like this weird, kind of I don't know. It was like this weird console that like people got, but like it wasn't really like loved. I feel like, and the Switch kind of just made the mobile part of it better. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
everybody liked the Wii a lot, but the thing is with the prices going back up, I mean, even for like digital copies, that's kind of wild, man.
yeah,
Like back
definitely.
to retail. So we we're gonna like let's reiterate. So when we interviewed Gunshot and he was a guest on the podcast, he brought up the fact that Nintendo builds or makes their games and they only have hard copies for 2 years where they're making it. And then after that, it's just like a new scarcity and you can only buy limited copies. So I guess that's going to be the case with like digital copies as well in the eShops. Get
Yeah,
them when you can. And I mean the the actual hardware being able to hold it, that's always going to cost like that's always going to be worth more than the
yeah,
digital version.
yeah. I mean, agreed. I'm also a devil's advocate. I'm also at a point where I'm not really buying hard copies of anything. If I'm being honest, like it's all
Yeah.
digital for me now. I still have a
Mostly
lot of
free
my
now.
old, I still have a lot of my old games, right? Like from back in the
Yeah.
day, but a lot of those I'll probably still hang on to. But yeah, nowadays, man, I'm just Steam store, even on the Switch though, dude, the eShop on the Switch. That's where I'm like getting all my games now. I just don't really care to like get hardware much anymore. But
Yeah, there's a I'm at a point where like I want to buy games that I like really like. This is something that I used to do with music as well when people used to buy CDs. Um, I would go and I would buy like my favorite band's CDs.
damn,
Like you can buy it online, you can go buy it from like Apple. I mean, now everybody's just listening to it for free, which is still wild.
yeah,
Or like some paid subscription services. But like back in the day, man, like I always used to buy the actual CD
yeah,
or record or whatever. I think that's what Nintendo is to me now. It's like
yeah.
when a good game comes out that I'm passionate about, or like a brand like it. For example, Zelda. I'm buying two copies. One I'm never opening. The other one I'm playing with.
This man's thinking
You know what I
ahead.
mean?
I like it.
Because that like they always go up in value. Like, have you ever seen the prices for an unopened Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time from N64?
I have not searched that myself. I'll be honest. I can't.
They're like
Yeah. I mean,
tens of thousands of dollars on
I
eBay.
I can believe it. If it's
Tens of
unopened,
thousands.
I believe it,
And
dude.
yeah, and then they have like different rarities, like it's freaking Pokemon cards. Like, oh, this one actually has like I forgot. There's somebody's listening and that probably knows, but it's like they have a serial number that's at the front that says like beta. It's like an alpha or beta edition. It's like a
My
stored demo
gosh.
version
Yeah.
that are like way more specific, and that because of the rarity of that makes it worth more. It's kind of like Shadowless Charizard first edition.
No, man.
Like, good luck finding that.
Yeah.
I don't even think it exists, but if it does, it's like whatever the last Charizard sold for, double it. Like, it's
Bro, it's
nuts.
like it shows you like PSA grading. Like is there PSA grading for
Yeah.
games? Because I could
We're gonna get to that point. I swear. I'm calling it right now. We're gonna get to that point.
yeah. I feel like it may already be a thing for like N64 games. Because like sometimes I'll see like old copies of like Super Mario 64 and stuff like that, like that are sealed in like a nice case and everything. Wonder if
Yeah.
those are graded at all.
I bet you they are.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Yeah, this doesn't really surprise me, but get your Wii U games and 3DS games while you can, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's basically where we're at. And we're bullish on Nintendo.
Yeah, always. Also bullish on Discord. And the fact that
Yeah.
Discord's coming to Xbox now, Mike. Oh my gosh.
Finally, dude.
Let's
They
do
talked about this for like over a year, like
how many
4 years or
times, dude?
something.
How many times have like you been using the Xbox like game chat on like
Oh
especially
gosh.
like games for PC or Xbox on PC? You've been using that party chat, and it's just like it's not intuitive. There's no like hardly any controls. It's just like sounds
Gross.
weird. But now we got Discord, baby. We don't even if you're playing on a Series X now, you ain't gotta worry about that because
Be out
Discord
here.
is finally coming to Xbox. So Discord and Microsoft are bringing Discord voice calls to Xbox. The feature available now to Xbox insiders and coming soon to the rest of us will allow users to connect to Discord voice chats from their Xbox, facilitating all kinds of cross-platform play shenanigans. The process of connecting your Xbox and Discord accounts are starting up a voice chat is pretty involved. First, you have to download the Xbox mobile app. You'll use your phone to transfer Discord calls to an Xbox. Very interesting. Then you have to connect your Xbox account to your Discord one. If you've connected them in the past, the instructions state that you'll need to do so again to accept the new voice permissions. Once that's done, whenever you want to talk with your Discord homies on Xbox, that was the article. I did not say that. You can start,
man.
you could start a call on Discord, hit the quote transfer to Xbox button, choose an Xbox console on the Xbox mobile app, and you're done. That seems like very involved. I like didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Um,
There's no other way to say it. That's a lot.
yeah. You'll be able to initiate a transfer from Discord on desktop or the web. A QR code will be displayed that opens the Xbox mobile app. I guess kind of made it a little bit easier. I don't know. That's that's kind of crazy though.
Yeah, QR code definitely helps. I mean, I log in to in my web browser on devices that I don't have it auto saved. I log in with my QR code. I just scan it in
Yeah.
the Discord app on my phone.
Yeah. And that's one thing that's really nice about Discord because I've done that before too. Just to not have to worry about remembering anything. You just scan a code.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's also a little infographic that Discord made up of kind of showing the steps to link it. Definitely a little more involved than I thought, but I mean, hey, Discord on Xbox, I mean, there's a couple hoops to jump through, but I'm just curious to see how it sounds and if it's any good.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. I wonder if they're going to be able to use the audio quality of Discord, like, because certain servers, as you know, have like better or boosted audio.
Yeah, it's
And I
true.
wonder how that's going to happen with, like, let's say if you don't have a fast enough internet that can handle like that demand, then people's voices can be a little bit more scuffed.
Yeah.
It'll be, who knows how they have it figured out. I'm sure they have like some type of algorithm where it's like, okay, Xbox person joined, reduce quality to what they can handle, kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like I'm kind of like reading the article too and just like trying to figure out. I mean, there's nothing that really I don't think that like discusses quality really, but I mean they do mention they have you have the ability to like adjust your levels. So if you want to turn the Discord call more as opposed to your game audio, you can
Oh
do
yeah,
that. Which no
so you could do
surprise
that
there
in the
really.
Xbox app as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing this article mentions, which is also another really good point, is we're still waiting to hear more about Sony's promised Discord integration for PlayStation. Sony
Yeah,
partnered up with Discord last year and also invested an unspecified amount of money into Discord as a minority investor. Weeks after rumors Microsoft were trying to acquire the platform, the only Discord and PlayStation integration that has appeared so far has allowed Discord and PlayStation Network users to simply link their accounts, but many were hoping to see much more deeper integration on a Discord app after Sony promised to, quote, bring the Discord and PlayStation experiences closer together on console and mobile. That's a very good point.
yeah,
Where's the Discord integration on PlayStation? Could you imagine if they had
that's
like
crazy, man.
could you imagine if they had Xbox and PlayStation working in harmony for voice chat, dude? That'd be kind of nuts.
That's a good point. You could definitely do that.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, that's oh my gosh, I
I mean,
didn't even
just
think about that.
it's crazy, man. You can link up. Could you imagine cross-platform entirely? PC,
Cross-platform
PlayStation,
group
Xbox.
chats.
Oh man, you're not. There's no divide anymore. At least on the communication front, it'd be all one.
So sick.
Come on, PlayStation. Come
Are you an
on.
Xbox insider?
I'm not. I mean, I
Okay,
don't
I am. I need to check in and
check
see
it
if I
out.
can do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should be able to
hopefully I got
download it.
the. I believe I do. I'll go in. I'll double check it and then I'll report back next week. But one thing I'm really excited about is, well, there are a couple things that's worth mentioning. Okay, Microsoft for the longest time was going to acquire Discord. They were in very long talks, and I was super excited because the Xbox game party chat, something that I had to use a lot of the time when I didn't have a mic that was working properly with my Xbox. I had to use my like PC mic because this is 1,000 times better than like the one that I got around my neck right now, like a
Yeah,
phone plug-in to your auxiliary mic. That's what I was trying to communicate with like friends of mine. I'm like, no, no more. Like, we need to figure this out. So I was using the Xbox Party Chat on like on my PC to talk to my friends who were console only, and it was such a headache because the quality in the app like kept breaking. It was totally
Yeah.
busted. So if Discord figures this out and is able to implement it really nicely on Xbox, this can be wild, man. It's like Microsoft tried to acquire Discord, didn't do it, and then PlayStation and Discord party up to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be like a part minority investor slash owner of this company now from like Sony's perspective. Microsoft goes, well, screw this, and then deleted Skype from existence. Went and did Microsoft Teams, right? Remember that whole
Yeah. Yeah.
transition? To how do you like now you're implementing Discord back on your platform?
Yeah.
And Microsoft and Sony over here is falling asleep.
I mean,
Like
can we just like
where
stop? Like,
where is it?
I mean, yeah, like, can we stop for a second? Just like give a little praise to Discord, like the fact that they didn't take the offer to get bought, like to get bought out.
Oh
They were like,
yeah,
we're gonna
that's a
keep
good
our
point.
independence and keep like our company like as one. They didn't want to get sucked up in the Microsoft bubble. They stayed it,
Yeah,
and look where they're at now. I mean, Microsoft their product is so good that
it's so good.
that like Xbox and Microsoft are like, look, we still want to use your product. We won't even like try and offer to buy you out. Can we just like work out a deal to use your stuff?
Exactly, man.
So I mean,
We use Discord right now. Like
we
doing this
for
podcast,
this call
we're on Discord
this call
right
right
now.
now, dude. It's crazy, man. Like Discord is one of the first, especially when I first got my PC, it was one of the first apps, especially on PC, where I was like, I actually want to give these people money. And like I'm like normally
Oh
not
yeah,
like that. Like where I'm just like, dude, it was the first one I was like, I'm becoming like an early adopter, like an early supporter, and I just want to give them money because like this is like a product I use every day. It's fantastic. The fact that what they offer for free is like crazy, because this is the thing,
yeah.
you have a good product when what you offer for free is so good that like just for some
People
like
pay
at the
for it.
time were very minor upgrades to the paid version, like they didn't really offer much at the time,
Yeah,
like you're still want to pay it, like you got a good product. So
yeah.
yeah, Discord did it, man. They took over the PC space for communication, because before it was literally Skype, TeamSpeak were like your two main options. And then you had
Yep.
like I don't know if you ever used Curse Voice. Did you ever use that? That's like very
Oh
niche.
no,
I don't know if you use that. That was like
that sounds so niche.
it
I've
was
never heard of it.
it was so funny. The only reason I really knew about it was because Smite actually had an integration deal with Curse Voice, so you could like connect to a Curse Voice call if you got in a Smite game. It was okay, but the interface was terrible, which is why it kind of just died. Like didn't really do much. Um, but then like couple a few years after that, Discord was out, and now it's like you ain't using anything else. Like I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, dude, this is gonna be wild when like Sony implements Discord into their systems. I'm just thinking about like all the cross-platform games that keep happening now
Yeah,
and how much fun it's gonna be. And the other thing is like, so I'm still really involved in the Halo community, obviously, and I'm playing in these competitive games where like some people are only playing on an Xbox and they've been using their mobile device or their like whatever it is, tablet,
yeah,
laptop to communicate and talk to people through Discord because everything is done through Discord, even communications.
yeah.
Like people will outspokenly be like, "No, we're not using game chat. No, we're not going to use Xbox party chat. Like you need to be on Discord or not in the server at all." Like they're at that level.
I mean, are they
And
wrong? You know?
I mean, I understand it. I totally understand it because it's a headache, man. Like the Xbox chat is trash. It's
He
trash.
said it, dude. It's
It's freaking
garbage.
trash. So I mean, there's a reason Microsoft was trying to buy them, dude.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
reason.
yeah. Yup.
They didn't buy it because they were just like, oh, I mean, we got Teams. Or at the time, they didn't even have Teams. They were like, we have Skype, which is really good, and we have Xbox Game Chat. Like, no, they were like, no, Discord's awesome, and they're doing it right, and they have a great community. It's like it's wild, actually,
Yeah,
how their communities work. But I digress. I think this is really exciting. This is really new, and I'm just excited, man. Like having your single chat where you can get all your buddies together on whatever console they're
yeah,
on, PlayStation or Xbox. I mean, I could see Nintendo doing it too.
yeah.
Nintendo doesn't really have game chats.
Be pretty sick. Why?
Yeah,
It's yeah, I mean, you think about it like Fortnite, if you're trying to play on PlayStation and Xbox and a single
yeah,
party, then you can link up on Discord. You don't have to worry about that.
yeah.
Like, or if you're playing a single player game, you got a different console. Someone's on PC, someone's on console. You could just still link up and like share that
Exactly, man.
experience.
And there's like barely any latency that you can notice.
Oh
Whereas
yeah.
like the Xbox game chat, you like if you're playing a shooter game where like communication really matters, you
Hmm.
can notice the latency almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like people will just like call something out to like where you have to respond instantly, otherwise you die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it comes in late and you're already dead, and you're just like, yeah, I got that info late. My bad. Like,
Not
what
anymore,
are you gonna
baby.
do?
Not anymore.
Yep.
I'm just I'm curious to see feedback on the insiders of what the insiders are thinking of Discord integration. And then when it moves out, public, we'll have a better idea. But I mean, yeah, if latency, if it's just like using my PC Discord in terms of audio quality, it's a no brainer,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Um,
Yes, sir.
so very excited,
Microsoft
man.
Phase winning, dude. I'll
Somebody
look
get
into
on
the
it.
Xbox insiders and give this a try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I'll let
could
you know how it goes.
you can hook up with some calls and you could just literally connect via your Xbox and see what people say if they notice anything.
I might just try the Halo Discord and just give it a serious run and just be like, hey guys, listen, I'm trying the app. We're gonna see if this works.
Yeah,
And
sure.
if you yell at me, I'll just disconnect.
Sure. Yeah, that was the that was the last kind of major article. But before we close out, maybe do a little
Yeah.
ramble. Who knows? Who knows how this episode's going to end? I have to say, the biggest game of July certainly came out this past week. Stray. Those that
Mhm.
don't know, it's your cat in Cyberpunk. Looks pretty rad. Um,
So
Reviews
sick.
have dropped, and might I say, looking mighty
They're
fine.
fire, man. They're
Um,
like hundreds,
they're
tens.
yeah.
They're up
Um,
there.
the PS5, there's PS5, PC, PlayStation 4. I haven't checked PlayStation 4. Um, there's no reviews. Anyway, on the PC version of the game, it's looking like 36 total reviews, 32 are positive, only 4 that are either mixed or negative. And then for the user reviews, there's pretty much mostly 10s from what I can see. So not a whole lot else. But of course, PlayStation, the main console of choice for this, what it's coming out on, it's not a single negative critic review. It's straight just 70 positive and 10 mixed, which I think overall is pretty good. And then same thing pretty much on the user side. Overall, pretty solid stuff. I think IGN gave it like an 8. I've seen a lot of good numbers out of this. I did do a little bit of research as well in terms of game time. Um, it actually is a rather shorter game. It is only a when I looked up on how to beat, it's only 4.5 hour completion if you want to like do it.
That's actually longer than
Um,
what I thought it was gonna be.
yeah, yeah, it's only 4.5 hours. If you want to do, I think completionist is like 6 to 7. I want to say, if you want to do everything, but honestly, like
Mhm.
this is a game I'm definitely gonna check out because want a little single player game, but I want something that's not gonna take a lot of time right now, and so this is
Oh
like
yeah,
right up the alley, just get in, get
true.
out, 4.5 hours. Definitely gonna check it
And it
out.
looks good, man. It looks good. I've like, so I kind of want to eventually get to this game. Um, but what I've done, so like I say that because I don't want to watch YouTube videos and like spoil it for me, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So I like to jump into Twitch streams from people that like I like how they play, I like their personality, and just jump in, see what it's like for like a handful of minutes, then leave. Kind of like when you're like walking by somebody playing a video game, you don't recognize the video game, you just like stop for a second, window shopping, if you will.
yeah.
Stop, take a look, like that looks cool, and then keep going. It's like it looks fun, man. Is basically what I'm getting at. And all there are no negative reviews that I was able to find. Everybody seems generally positive about it. The game looks good, and it's unique, right?
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I feel like it's unique. You're a cat.
Yeah,
That's cool.
true. Yeah, I mean that's pretty sick. I think I think yeah, overall it's like you said, it's interesting. It's something new. And I've been kind of in the same boat where like I purposely haven't gone into streams that are like streamers that are streaming it because I don't want to see any gameplay. I just want to like experience it. So
Yeah,
that's how I'm like interested in the game is when I'm actually like avoiding streamers to not
exactly.
watch
Yeah.
it. So um definitely on that list for sure. Um yeah. That's all the articles I had this week, Mike. That's all the news I got, baby.
Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty solid week. Um, sort of short and sweet. I feel like I'm pretty excited to see what happens with Intel and their GPUs, especially.
Yeah.
the chipset prices when AMD is going to come out, and what the heck is going to go on with Nvidia after their 30 series. Like they keep chopping it, man. I
Yeah.
saw a 30 I thought I saw like a 3090 that was marked off 50% from $2,000 to $1,000 like 2 days ago.
Crazy.
It's wild, man.
Could it
It's
be a
wild.
scam,
Like,
dude? Could it be? A discount that great? You know what I'm saying?
crazy. So Discord's pretty exciting too. Something I didn't mention at the start of the episode is I was playing xCloud gaming on my new tablet.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
my guy.
it was wild. So I plugged it up real quick. I didn't have enough time to actually like get into it. I just wanted to get like a general experience of it. Loaded up Halo Infinite because of the new like campaign co-op dropped, and then I didn't even think like that's not gonna work on xCloud, but whatever. Loaded up and I'm like jumping around like, okay, this is kind of delayed, whatever. Then I switch over and I go towards the game. What is the name of the game? It's like Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh,
There's
grounded.
a demo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Grounded.
Yeah.
So there's a Grounded demo where I was just like, okay, let's jump in and see what this is like. For reference, I'm playing on a Samsung S6. They're on S8 right now. I'm on the S6 Lite, which is a tablet. It has like it's not that fancy, but it's just a tablet,
Yeah.
10-inch tablet or something like that. I Bluetooth connect my Xbox controller. I put that thing on the island or like the coffee table that I'm sitting at, and I'm just playing through. I'm like, dude, this is like not bad. This is actually pretty good. Uh, one of the things I should have tested, and I probably will later, is there is a mode where you can use more power draw and prioritize internet speeds to make the experience better. And I feel like that's what I'm going to be doing next because it's like my tablet wasn't plugged in. So I think the performance was a little bit reduced because they were trying to save battery life,
Yeah.
even though it was at 100%. So
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I'll give it a go. But I did play a couple of like XO1 again. I told you about several months ago.
Yeah.
That indie game, and I was like I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, I know this game has to be good. I'm over here playing. I'm like, the only thing that was bothering me is the fact that it was touchscreen controls.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
kind of annoyed right now. This is difficult to like handle in my hands.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it
but
sounds
yeah,
like
man.
mostly positive stuff. Um,
Yeah,
I
I will say this, it's 1000% better than when I like tried Google Stadia about like 5 years ago. Like things, it's getting so much better just in the span of 5 years
yeah.
that I mean, we might not need consoles anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, I had a buddy that tried GeForce Now, like Nvidia's cloud gaming, and
oh,
they were running like,
I heard that was rough.
well, I mean, he was running it on a hardwired laptop, and it wasn't like the craziest specs, of course, but he said his experience was actually pretty good on like a laptop that was hardwired. So I mean, he
Oh
said it was
wow.
pretty smooth for him, surprisingly. So I guess that's getting better
Okay.
too. I mean, it seems like they're figuring it out with cloud gaming.
So exciting. Cloud gaming, man. It's gonna be wild.
Cloud gaming.
Just imagine how many people in the world that can't afford like let's say like consoles aren't readily available. They don't have the ability to actually like get good internet because there's only a handful of countries that actually have like really good internet
Yeah,
that can handle
yeah,
online gaming.
that's
But
true.
if you're playing mobily or you playing through the cloud, like some people have like really good satellite like cell tower coverage, stuff like that. Um
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah, cloud
yeah. I
gaming
mean,
can help out.
yeah. In terms of cloud too, I know kind of unrelated, but when I was looking into like DaVinci Resolve. They're coming out with they came out with version 18, and I think this feature may be only available in the studio version. I think it was on 17. Anyway, they actually have a feature called remote rendering, so you can literally just take your video, essentially take your videos and all the files you utilize in your videos, and you can render it on a separate like machine, like in the
My
cloud.
gosh.
So you can free up, you could edit another video while that's rendering, or you could do anything else on your computer. It literally frees up the resource. So you could do other
Oh
stuff.
crap.
It's kind of crazy. And it's like if that's in studio, it's something like that. How it could be worth that price tag? You know what I'm saying?
That's nuts.
Yeah. It's that was wild though. I saw that. It's like crazy what you could do with a lot of editing software now.
That's really cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of like where we're gonna begin at.
Yeah,
Making
for
all
sure.
the adjustments you could possibly have on like a toaster oven, and then ship it
Yeah.
through your like high internet speed, like gigabyte fiber, or like go to a library or something. Imagine that. Like,
Yeah.
let's say you're just doing all your stuff on a laptop and you can't render it because you don't have the power, or it'll take you way too long. Just go to the library, plug it up. If
Yeah.
you have like high speed internet,
Jack the internet. Just,
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Go to your friend's house. Who knows? So many options. That's pretty cool though. Yeah,
Cloud
I
is the
feel
future.
like
That's what we learned today,
cloud, cloud's the future. Intel's making moves. Fades is apparently publicly
Almost
traded now.
almost $1 billion value.
Wild.
What's that?
Um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. We're gonna be wrapping up what next month is gonna be the last episode of July, and then we're on to August. Damn, we're
Dude,
getting up
it's
there.
crazy. Also, I'm gonna be that guy for a second, dude. Before
What's up?
I'm gonna be a different age by the time we have the next show, so birthday's this week.
That's right.
So
That is.
very excited
Happy
about
birthday,
that.
my man.
Sir, thank you.
You're getting. Are you getting any white hairs? Any gray hairs?
Funny enough, like especially like in my I notice it like yeah, a little bit like I notice it every now and again I'll notice a hair, but like especially in, like my eyebrows I started to notice sometimes. I'll get like just a white
You getting
hair.
that
I'm just
salt
like,
and pepper?
whoa, like it's coming in, man.
Yeah, I found white hairs right at my bangs that are starting to come through, man. That that kind of weirded me out.
Hey
It's
man.
weird.
Hey. As long as this is the thing, like yeah, imagine you had a nice like silver fox just like just
Oh,
like
that's
oh dude,
100% my hair's going white
dude.
for sure.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
It looks good though, man. I have to say. Looks good.
Yeah. We're out here. Well, I feel like the theme of today was talking about hair because we
That's a
started
whole
with
point.
hair, we're ending with hair,
That's
and
true, yeah.
yeah. Well, I feel like we've done enough rambling. I feel like
Done.
this is a good enough point to wrap up. I guess this has been episode 27 of the M2 podcast, and we'll be back with another one next week. So tune in. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host right here, Mr. J.K. Heath, Kyle Heath, editor extraordinaire. Which app are you using, by the way? Somebody asked me the other day. Are you using
Um,
Adobe Premiere? Or are you
no,
on DaVinci?
I'm on DaVinci full time.
Okay.
I wanted to try Adobe, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to take the time to learn the workflow of Adobe, so I just stayed on
Yeah.
DaVinci.
That's what I thought you told me, but I was just like, I know we started with DaVinci, but he might be on Adobe, is what I said. So
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't lie.
Still
I
DaVinci
didn't
strong.
lie.
And it's to the like I said, it's to the point where I may end up like trying to actually get the full thing at some point because there's some features that'd be really nice. So
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. After that, like revelation of their virtual machines, that's nuts.
crazy.
All right, so without further ado, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Feel free to check the links in the description. Everything we talked about will be there. We're on every single audio, video platform you can think of. So check us out. Subscribe, like, comment, join the conversation. We're in Discord. We're chilling. We're on Twitter. You know what to do. Anyways, see
Peace
you
out,
later.
everyone. Thanks
Peace
for
out.
listening.
See ya.